Hello once again and welcome to CSIT 316, our web development using content management systems. In this session, we are going to talk about users and roles, a very important part of every system. So this session, you will learn about roles of users in WordPress. Now, every user has his own unique role in WordPress, and roles are like permissions given to particular users to access the WordPress site. And I'm sure that the importance of this particular topic cannot be overemphasized. Now, we'll study how the different user roles and how they add, edit, and delete users, or how to add, edit, and delete users. Now, the learning objectives for this course is that students should be able to explain the predefined roles in WordPress. They should be able to add users, edit and delete users, and then manage their personal profiles. Now, let's start off with the introduction. Now, WordPress comes with a user role management system, which defines the specific users that can access the website, what they can do, and then what they cannot do. Now, knowing these user roles and permissions are essentials as your website grows. Now, let's talk about the user roles. WordPress comes with 5 main default user roles. The first one is the administrator, the second one is the editor, the third is the author, the fourth is the contributor, and then the fifth is the subscriber. As you can see, the roles are arranged in descending order of the things that a user with that role can do. So the administrator has the most power or privilege when it comes to WordPress, followed by the editor, and so on and so forth. Now, let's talk about the administrator. As I mentioned before, the administrator is the most powerful user role. Now, users with this kind of role can add new posts, edit posts by any of the users on the site, and even delete those posts. They can install, edit, and delete plugins. Most importantly, an administrator user can add new users to the site, can change information about existing users, including their passwords, as well as delete any user. So the administrator is very, very powerful. Let's look at the next user role. The next user role is the editor. Now, the editor role in WordPress will have full control on the content section of your website. Now, it's important to take note of this. It has full control over the content section of the website. Now, this means that they can add, edit, publish, and delete any post on a WordPress site, including the ones written by others. An editor can moderate, edit, and delete comments as well. Now, editors do not have access to change your site settings, install plugins and themes, or add new users. Now, let's talk about the author role. Now, as the name suggests, users with this role can write, edit, and publish their own posts. They can also delete their own posts, even if they are published. On the other hand, they can add tags to their posts. Now, they do not have access to settings, plugins, and themes. Next, we talk about the contributor. Now, a user with this role, contributor role, in WordPress can edit and delete their own posts, but they cannot edit or delete the published posts. Now, you see a key difference between the author and the contributor. Once the post is published, they cannot delete it as a contributor. Now, this makes contributor role an ideal choice for WordPress site owners who want to allow other people to come to write on their websites. Now, they do not have access to settings or plugins or themes, and they cannot change the settings on your website. Now, finally, we talk about the subscriber. Now, the subscriber role is the most limited out of all the WordPress roles. Now, they can create and maintain their profile on a WordPress website, and they cannot write or publish articles. Now, with the default settings, the subscriber allows users to log in to the WordPress site and leave comments without having to enter their details every time. Now, this rule is useful for people who frequently read a blog and are actively commenting. It makes things a lot easier and faster. Now, we look at a role comparison table. Now, this table just gives you an indication of the kind of permissions and then the roles that have access to those permissions. So, to read the site, all of them do. To edit posts, all of them but the subscriber. To delete posts, all of them but the subscriber. To publish posts is only the administrator, the editor, and the author, and so on and so forth. you will get a list of all the role comparisons you can have with WordPress, from reading of sites to editing posts to publishing pages, to deleting pages, to activating plugins, to deleting private pages, and so on. Also, in creating users, deleting plugins, deleting themes, deleting users, and so on, you see that it is only the administrator that has the permissions to do all that. All the other roles do not have permission to do that. Now, let's see how to work with users. Now, the following are the simple steps you need to take to add users to your WordPress. Once again, on your left panel, you go to users, click on users. It gives you a sub menu with all users, add new, and then your profile. So what you do is that you come here and then you click on add new. Very simple. On the left panel, click on users, then select add new. Once you do add new, you'll be presented with the add new user screen, and then you'll be presented with a form to fill, where you provide a username, you provide an email, you provide a first name, a last name, website, and then your password. And then it tells you how strong or weak your password is depending on what you have entered, and then you should select the role of the individual. Now you can select any of the 5 roles as mentioned in the previous slides. Now you can also view the list of users that has been created. And then over here we have admin and John, and then their roles are administrator and subscriber respectively. It gives you the number of posts that the administrator has put on the website, and then it can tell you that the subscriber has no post. Over here as well, you can just click on add new, and it sends you back to the same page where you can create users. Now once the new user is created, who is a subscriber, John can now log in into WordPress from the login area. Now we navigate to the blog section. So this is the user in action. And once he navigates to the blog section as a subscriber, he'll be able to leave a comment. And now as you can see, you are logged in as John Doe. You click here to log out, and then you can post a comment and then click on post comment. Now the administrator is immediately notified when there are new comments this way. Now on the comments menu, you see a small notification with the number of comments that have come in written on it. Now to edit and delete users, all you have to do is to select the particular user you want to edit, and then by their placeholder image, you can either click on edit or click on delete, and then the actions will follow respectively. Now when you click on edit, you have the chance to make some changes. You can maybe change the role to an editor role or a contributor role. You can change some things about the user, the first name, the last name. You can even upload images so that the previous page you no longer have a placeholder, but you will have the image of the user you have uploaded. And then you can actually click on this button, update user, to save the changes that you have made. Now to edit your personal profile, you go to users on the left panel as well, and then you choose your profile. Now once you choose your profile, it brings you your current profile, and then you'll be able to make the required changes just the same way you edited the details of John Doe. Once you're done with it, you click on update profile and you're good to go. Thank you very much for staying with us. I'll see you in the next section.